welcome back to my channel. My name is Cornelia and today we're going to talk about Gilmore Girls Season 2. So, for Season 2, I don't have that many good things to say about it. It's a good Season 2, don't understand me wrong, because it lays all the problems up for Season 3 to fix. But that also means we just have a lot of bickering in Season 2 and a lot of annoyances in Season 2 that we can fix in Season 3. And just a lot of asshattery too. So if you want a rant, this is the right video for you. If you don't feel like you want to rant because Season 2 is your favorite, then I think you should skip this video and go watch something else. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is when they get termites. And the thing is, I talked about this with my sister and she got me to see it in another way, but I still think it's unfair. So, they're bickering about how they should handle the situation. It costs a lot of money to get rid of termites, and it's a big job. And Lorelai doesn't want to take money from anyone, doesn't want the help from anyone, even though she needs it because she can't get a loan, because apparently she's already taken out 2 loans on the house and no bank wants to lend her any money. So Luke offers and she says no, because I understand not wanting to take a loan from a friend in that regard. And then Rory brings it up, even though Lorelai told her not to. And I understand why Lorelai thought that was wrong, because it was wrong. Lorelai said no, and she brought it up anyways. But seeing as they have like this friendship kind of relationship and a mother-daughter relationship, I just think it gets a little bit confusing, because Rory will never be able to have an actual opinion and get through with it, because Lorelai will always have the card of, well, I'm the grown-up, so I get to decide. And I think that can be hard to juggle, especially when Lorelai has told Rory that she can't get a loan, she can't find the money, and they will maybe have to move out. She didn't say that, but if they can't find the money, they have to move out, or the house will fall down. So Rory brings it up, and Emily sets a meeting with the bank, and Lorelai has no options left, so she has to go to the bank meeting, and in the end she needs to co-sign with her mother to be able to get the loan for fixing the house. And I get that Lorelai and Rory doesn't have the same relationship with Lorelai's grandparents, with Lorelai's parents, and it's fine that she's upset. I just don't like the speech she has in the end of the episode, because even if I understand that it was wrong of Rory to do it, in the end it was the only thing to do, and in the end it was the only solution which made it right to ask for, but not in that circumstance. It didn't give her the right to ask, but it was the right thing to do. So I understand why Lorelai is upset. I understand why it was wrong of Rory to do it. So all of that I get, and it's fine and dandy until the end of the episode, where Lorelai has this speech of like, yeah, I've fed you all your life, and I've always had clothes for you, and I've always figured out how to do this and do that, and have you ever missed anything? And Rory's like, no, I haven't missed anything. And Lorelai is like, yeah, good, then it's my right to not take money from my parents and lose your childhood home, and you should just live with it. She doesn't say that either, but it feels like she says that. But she just have this speech that just gives Rory so much guilt, and I think this it feels like the speech is only there to make Rory feel guilty, even though Lorelai has already confirmed that it was the only solution, the only thing to do. So I think she should have said that you have no right to ask for that because it's my job. In this case, it went well and it was the only thing to do, but it's still my choice to do. And if you really feel strongly about it, you need to talk to me about it. You can't go behind my back and just tell them. But that wouldn't have worked either because Lorelai didn't want to talk about it, even though Rory insisted on talking about it. So I guess there's no real solution. I just don't like the way she talks to Rory in the end of this episode. Yeah, also I don't think that Lorelai is handling the situation well, because her mother did a good thing for them. Even though Lorelai didn't want to take any money, even though she didn't want any help, her mother still cares about her, even though she thinks she doesn't, and she wants the best for her and Rory. And losing their house would be devastating, and Emily knows that. She knows that it would be devastating, and she loves them, so obviously she wants to help. But Lorelai hates the thought of it because she's like, oh yeah, it's just another contract and it's my parents, they never do something out of their kindness of their hearts. And I don't know, she just treats Emily very badly, and I don't think that's earned, because she's like, oh yeah, when it was Chilton you wanted a dinner, now it's the house, what do you want now, you own me. And I'm like, yeah, but Emily has given no indication that she wants something out of it, because when Chilton was brought up, she was very quick to jump on the I want something out of it. When it was their house, she was like, just like, what you need, it's your house, obviously I will help. It's not the same circumstance, because Chilton is an education and not something you necessarily need to live. And it's not sentimental in the same way a house is. It's not necessary in the same way. It's just luxury. Rory even said it. She doesn't have to go to Chilton to be able to get into Harvard. It's just easier to get into Harvard if you go to Chilton. But the house is not the same. A house you need. This house you have bought, you have lived in for a long time, and it's yours. So if it falls to the ground, you need a new house. So it's not the same in any way. And the way Emily handled the two situations is also totally different to each other. So for Lorelai to just act like an ass, I think is uncalled for. Even though they have all this history, I just think she handled it wrongly and treated Emily badly. This season is also the season where Jess gets introduced, and Lorelai again. That's so weird. I think it's wrong of Lorelai to give opinions as a best friend, but set rules like a mother. Because she wants Rory to tell her everything, and this is Rory's love life. She took the mother card when it was about Chilton, and she said like, yeah, you need to go to Chilton, you don't have a choice. And that's fine. But Rory's love life, as long as it doesn't affect her schoolwork and her dreams and her goals in life, I don't really think she has the same right to a decision on that. She can give her opinion and stuff like that, but I don't think she can set rules for Rory's love life. I think it's wrong. And for her to don't like Jess is fine. Your mother doesn't have to like all your boyfriends in your life. She won't, probably. And that's okay, but I don't think it's okay for her to be like, yeah, I don't like him, so you can't date him. And still want to be your best friend and be like, oh yeah, tell me everything, because I'm so open-minded. You're not, because you hate sex. we'll get there, I guess. So, yeah, I just think it's bullshit of her to be like, oh yeah, tell me, I want to know if you like someone else than Dean, and it's okay if you don't want to be with him, but don't pick this guy because he's crap. And at the same time believe that Rory actually will tell her anything about Jess. And this picture she has of like, oh yeah, I don't want to be that kind of girl. It's feelings. It's okay to be that girl for a little while. It's the same in season 1 when Rory's like, oh yeah, I don't want to fall apart just because I don't have a guy. No. And I don't want to be that girl that needs a guy. You're not the girl that needs a guy. You're the girl that is upset that you broke up with someone, and that's okay. It's okay to cry over it, as long as you don't think your whole world view is shattered and your life is just over. You can still mourn it. You can still be sad about it and cry about it and miss it, without you being the girl that needs a guy. And it's the same thing with Jess, but from Lorelai's view, like, oh yeah, I've already gone through that. I've already seen the Jesses in my life, so I don't want you to date him, because I've dated a Jess, so you don't have to. Excuse you? I hate that comment. I know that my parents have done the same thing, and I don't care. I don't care that you've been through it, because I haven't. I see why I don't have to try to take drugs until I almost overdose, and I see why I maybe don't have to walk around in a rainstorm to understand that I hate it. But some things you just want to do for yourself and not being told that someone else has done, and therefore you will hate it. Because yeah, even if Jess was this bad boy turned good guy and it didn't work out, there is so much that happens in between that Rory may want to experience. Like the second love, the flirt with another guy, the trips and turbulations that happens in a relationship, the way you learn to communicate. There's so much in a relationship besides the part that he's like another boy your mother dated once. The unreliable type. It doesn't help that you dated an unreliable type. I want to try to date an unreliable type and get the experience for myself. It doesn't help that you tell me that it's a bad idea. I still want to do it. And I hate it every time it comes out, like, oh, I've done that, you don't have to do it. I don't care. I don't have to do it. I know. I want to do it, okay? Moving on, yes? So Christopher is back in this lovely season 2. It's just a lovely season. It actually is. Suki is wonderful in this season because she gets married in this season and has her first love in this season. Not whatever. Suki is wonderful in this season. But I couldn't focus on that because the ass-hattery that was going on in the rest. It is like 75% of the time. And Lorelai was also an ass-hat to Suki, but she made up for that. They're best friends, it's fine. But, okay, so Christopher comes back. He has a girlfriend, and the girlfriend tells Lorelai that, oh yeah, but we don't have to know each other, you know. It's fine. I want to know Rory, because Rory, I have to get to know, but you are Christopher's ex, so it's fine if you don't want to know me, it's okay. And when Lorelai brings it up to Christopher, then it's like, it's weird of her to say that I'm not going to be involved, because of course I'm going to be. I'm her mother. And Christopher is like, oh yeah, but I didn't get to know that you dated Max until you were engaged. Would I ever have been a part of the picture? And I don't think it's the same, because Lorelai lives with Rory. They live together. She brought her, she fed her and put clothes on her, and they live together, and she has lived with her mother her whole life. So the thing that happens in her mother's life affects her directly. The thing that Christopher does is that, like, oh, I choose when I like my daughter, when I want to see her, when I want to get to know her, when I want to spend time with her. And just compare that to, like, oh yeah, but I wasn't a part of the picture when Max was in the picture. Why should you be a part of the picture when I have a girlfriend? It's not even close to being the same. If you lived in the town and if Rory, like, spent time with you for more than, like, 2 days, sure, it would have been the same. But you weren't even down to visit. Or called them, obviously, because they talk about everything. You don't think Rory would have mentioned that Lorelai was getting married? Or had a boyfriend? Or was seeing someone that are going to move in? I just think it's ridiculous for him to say that it's the same thing, and for Lorelai to act like, oh yeah, that is a good point. No, it's not. It's not a good point. It's a stupid point. It's an ass-hattery stupid point. It's just so dumb. I hate it. Okay. This is something that will tie in to another thing later. But this is Christopher and Lorelai again. So much fun. Okay, so Christopher just magically has a lot of time to spend with his daughter and Lorelai in the last episode, which is Suki's wedding, which has a lot of wonderful moments and could have more if they didn't spend so much time with Lorelai and Christopher. But still. So Christopher tells Lorelai that, oh yeah, I think it's over with Cherry, so now we're both in the same place and yada yada yada, it's not going well, we could hook up. And they do. And they have a lovely evening, a lovely morning, a lovely afternoon or midday. And then someone calls and says that she's pregnant. And I will just spoil, so just jump over this part if you don't want to know. But he has confirmed that the relationship is over and they're done. And in season like 4 or 5, I think, Rory sleeps with Dean, which is wrong on many levels, but he's also like, yeah, this relationship is over, we will break up, and yada yada yada, it's not going well. And they sleep together. And Lorelai is very upset, and I get that because Dean is married. But Lorelai did the same thing with Christopher, just that they wasn't married. He told her that, oh yeah, I think it's over, it's fine, we're not getting back together. And then the next day they're back together. Way of confirming that it was over. I just think it was wrong of Lorelai to be like, oh yeah, if you say it's over and you haven't broken up and it's going badly, then it's over, it's fine. No, it's not. And I know it's two different situations, but they are also not different in certain regards, and I just wanted to mention it. So, this has been a rant for a lot of things, and I think I'm done for this season, and I hope to see you in the third. Bye!